mind. So welcome to the stage.
So, you can hear me all? Very good. This is actually a joint presentation because I'm from Huawei and I have two other guys with me. The reason we are going to make this presentation together is actually because we have a common ground in sustainability together. That's the first part. Another part is that we all three of us work within OCP in different levels. For instance, Huawei, we are platinum member in the OCP organization. Borealis, I have to break the news, they are the first data center in Iceland that have an OCP ready data center. And of course, we also need to have a guy from OCP to dive a little bit into how it is with the cooling solutions for OCP. So let's start. First of all, we have a presentation of us. This is the three of us. And I think we can make it very shortly, but I think you can also ask us questions afterwards. Now I will present a video just to set the scene for data centers.
From beacon tower to telegraph, telephone to mobile phone, in thousands of years, we have been innovating and enriching connectivity. From people to people, people to things to things. Connectivity is always booming. It will be a connected world. By 2025, there will be 100 billion devices connected and 100 CB data streamed. As data barriers, data centers will mushroom. Future data centers will be all connected, intelligent, and simple. Decisions will be fast and accurate with global resources analyzed. Construction is no longer demanding. Data centers are prefabricated in factories, assembled on site, fast to deploy, and flexible to expand. Data centers will be digital. From component, module, system, to data center itself, information is perceivable, visible, and manageable. Data centers will be intelligent. They will be manageable anywhere, anytime. Unattended operation, automatic inspection, and real-time parameter analysis make management more intelligent. Cooling and power facilities interact with IT business changes to reach an optimal PUE. Data centers will be networked. Global cloud data centers are connected and can be centralized and managed to ensure prompt response to false and reliable operation. Huawei Intelligent Data Center delivers digital, networked, and intelligent concept into finance, transportation, energy, communication, and other industries. We are building a better connected world. Huawei Intelligent Data Center, greener and easier.
So I hope I set the scene. Now you all know we will see data center in the future also, a lot of them. But what is the question now is what kind of data centers will we see in the future? We have some kind of ideas for that. The kind of data centers we will promote is of course sustainable. And this is, as I said from the beginning, we are here as a team to promote sustainable data centers. First of all, we are thinking green. This is not only green by CO2 neutral or the carbon dioxide negative footprint or this. This is from the real matrix, how we are going to measure this is green. Both the way we use the energies, but also for the recyclable way for data centers. So we look into this both from scope 2, scope 3, or 2 and 3, because this is what we think we need to look into in the future. Also, as you know, called buy, burn, and beyond. Another part is we also look into the simplified part of data centers. we have a saying in Huawei where we said we are thinking in scalability and modularity. Scalability means you can build within the density you want to build it, because the system is prepared to what kind of systems you want to have installed in data centers. But also modularity means you build as you grow. And this also means together with how you are going to control data centers. I think we also heard about how AI is going to invade the data centers. This is not a bad idea. It's quite good, because to have AI running for operations and maintenance means that we can have this adjustment, alignment with the maintenance for the data centers and operations directly running full scale all the time for the data centers. Another part we look into is the sustainability part of it. First of all, we look into the power. The power part in our way is to look into dual infeeds for data centers. So we have a directly infeed for renewable energies like solar plants, windmills, but also to add energy storage systems to data centers. So we can not only help making the part of renewable energy used in data centers at a higher rate, but we can also add actually grid stabilizations to data centers. Another part is how are we using the land for data centers. Land is also a kind of footprint for data centers we are going to build. So the more land we use for data centers means that we actually don't have land for anything else. For instance, we could add solar parks together with data centers. So to decrease the foot size of data centers means we actually can have a lot of other installations according together with data centers. Another thing, but when we are decreasing the size of data centers and build them as buildings, we can add them to capital cities, where we can use the heat directly with any, without any transportation costs for the district heating, for instance. The last part is the climate, where we look into different kind of solutions for both how we are using power, but mostly for the cooling parts. What is it we can use? We are talking free cooling, but we actually want to say data centers need to be where we are converting one energy form to another energy form, like for instance electrical power into heat reuse. And this is what we're going to promote. And I think David will talk about how we can run a temperature settings that is so high we can use it for many different purposes. The last thing is to look at the energy from a holistic point of view. Like we heard it, PUE is of course a measurement for how to look into the effectiveness for a data center. But we also want to look out of it, because we call this beyond PUE, because PUE is good, but you need to use all of the metrics together with PUE to have the right understanding how is your data center running, also for a standardization way. And this is of course to look at all the cooling solutions, how you're going to get rid of the heat, but also the power inflows you have from it. And then I think we have our next, that is Borealis.
Hello everyone. I'm here on behalf of Borealis Data Center, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank my dear friend at DDI to give us the opportunity to represent ourselves today. So Borealis Data Center is based in Iceland. We have 3 data centers, 2 in the capital region and 1 in the northern region. I need to mention that Iceland is a highly privileged nation, being right in between North America and Europe, that give us many opportunities and advantages when it comes to renewable energy, low cost of electricity, natural cooling and reliable power. We receive this by hydro and geothermal energies. And I would like to also take the opportunity to show you a video that explains everything much better than I am capable of.
In Iceland, nature is a challenge, an inspiration, and a gift. For over a century, Icelanders have sustainably harnessed both hydro and geothermal power. Meeting our energy needs with renewables proved instrumental in transforming our poor island nation into one of the most advanced societies in the world. What many are striving for this century, Iceland has been doing for decades. experience in utilizing hydro and geothermal resources has made Icelandic experts sought after worldwide and put Iceland at the forefront of innovation in the energy and sustainability sectors.
So in this slide, I would like to show you, how the robust network, is connected to Iceland, that gives us, fast connectivity. Plus, also, our low latency numbers makes it ideal for latency-sensitive application and services to come to Iceland and take the services that data centers can offer, just as Borealis does. But as you could see it in the video, sustainability is given based on the geographical location. So the question arises, what more can we do? Borealis has the philosophy that sustainability comes from within. That comes from the change of mindset, that leads to change within operation, that also leads to changes in how we interact with each other within the industry. So it's not only us who needs to provide, by our land, the sustainable sources, but we need to focus on how we shift our own organizations, and we also need to look into our supply chain. The three other signs that you can see on this slide are cloud security, data protection, data center design and regulation. These are also very important aspects of Borealis Data Center that we focus on. We are currently on a journey to ISO certification, where we are going to be achieving 3 standards by the end of the year. One of them is focusing on information security, and the other are on cloud security and data protection. Now, I would like to interact with you a little bit. Who incorporated sustainability within the information security standard of the organization that you work for? That's what I was afraid of. Within the information security standard, there is a clause that goes for supply chain and vendor management. That requires all organizations to do their audits, their due diligence. Now I added sustainability to that fact. It's not only financial sustainability, it's not only the certifications that the companies have, but I asked them to align the Borealis certifications with the Borealis Sustainability Charter and the philosophy that we try to represent. But I also said, that it comes from within. So within our training certifications, we provide our employees the training that they need. It's always explained. Because even though, the company might be certified, if the employees do not work as a whole organization, our sustainability goals may be just on paper. But as I said, we look out to vendors and our supply chain, and this is how we came across Huawei and OCP, and we just took the opportunity to work together on different projects, and try to make the industry better, revolutionize what we have in Iceland and what we have in Europe. And with that said, I would like to take the stage over to David, who is going to talk about OCP and what they do for us.
Thank you, Isma. Thank you, Yapi. So, I have one question to our auditor. Who know what is OCP? Please raise your hand. So, the most of the auditors don't know what is OCP, and I want to make introduction. So, OCP is Open Compute Project Foundation, which is dedicated to push forward into industry disruptive technologies, which will make transition from the conventional data center to new generation. So this is the community where involved more than 6,000 engineers worldwide, and they collaborate on that platform in order to move through the obstacles in the implementation of the new technologies. So the contribution process is easy. The member provide the solution. It is discussed by the community, and that community can be competitors, which become partners. And after that, it is placed on the OCP side, which can be used not only by OCP community, but anyone who want to know how to move forward. So this is a driver for whole industry. And I have another question. Who is aware about liquid cooling, like on-chip cooling or immersion cooling? Can you raise your hand? Many of you. But who knows how to implement liquid cooling in data center? So, according to that, you see that many is aware about new solutions, but only 1-2% now know how to do that. So, in this work stream, which is dedicated for the cold plate, immersion work streams, we create the standards, which is not exist on the market. We create the standards how to move forward, how to create design. We create documents which can be used by the industry. We create that standardization in order to push forward these disruptive technologies. And main drivers for that, it's not only technology providers, but also the hyperscalers which want to shift for new efficiency. And also we have a work stream dedicated for heat reuse, where we evaluate the possible opportunities for heat reuse with different temperatures, with different applications, different climates. We create heat reuse map. So you can join there and see that, everything, and download. This is affordable for anyone. Anyone can join to that work stream. It's open. But most comprehensive approach is when you create data center facility, rack design, and server design. Actually, that project is handled by Karl Rabe, who is here also. And we, in that work stream, show how we can create that integrated approach. And one of examples how it's go deeper into the data center, which is usually is not, let's say, data center facility business, because all the talks today was about the facility, about PUE, but no one go deeper, no one go to the server, no one evaluate the rack, how can be done that in comprehensive way. So in our specification, you can find the rack design, the technological cooling solution, how it integrated together, the server adaptation for that cooling technology, and that all is open source. It means that anyone, everywhere can take that and realize, build by himself or order or implement in the project. So it's accelerate this transition much faster. And we talk about PUE, but PUE actually it's just relation between IT load and overall power input. When we go to the liquid cooling, we reduce IT load. It means that the same quantity of the servers, but the energy consumption of the liquid cooled servers is by 10–30% lower. So we reduce IT load, and PUE can show that for you. And another thing that we are able to deliver high temperature, 60–65 degrees water temperature without heat pumps. And this is another metric. So that all integrated approach is dedicated to make transition whole industry. So thank you very much for your attention, and I call to action is to be part of OCP, jump in this course, and learn more. Thank you very much.
So a big thanks to Huawei, Borealis and Open Compute. I think we have time for one short question if anybody has a question. If that is not the case, then once again thank you for the speakers this morning. Now we have network, lunch and a break, and then we will carry on, I believe at roughly in 1 hour from now. So the lunch should be served outside, so enjoy the lunch and see you around later. Thank you.